So in order to take all of the stuff that we need for the progesterone to do the progesterone and oil shot on the go, first of all, we need the progesterone. This packaging still has my name on it and it still has the prescription on it. So if I get any questions at the airport, this should be fine. It's also a very small unopened bottle of progesterone and oil. That should be well under TSA's limits. Also still in its original packaging. Everything else, I have this little pouch here. This little pouch has a bunch of pockets in it. In these pockets, I have put the 2 different sizes of needles. I packed extra of both kinds of needles just in case anything happens, they get broken, you know, something like that. But they're nicely tucked away in this little pocket here to hopefully reduce the chance of anything bad happening to them. On the other side, there's some other pocket areas that are a bit too small to use for anything. So I just put some alcohol swabs in there because that's basically the only thing that would fit. My thinking is, and this is how you have to kind of get creative with things that you have when you don't have something specifically. I mean, I don't have packing cubes, but I do have a lot of these amenity kit things from airplane trips that I've been on in the past. They're always such cute little bags, and they're kind of just the right size for something like this. So my suggestion is you don't necessarily need to buy anything off Amazon that's specifically for medications, but you can find something that is about the right size and has a pocket or two. That should work. So that's my idea, is that this little pouch will go right in here, and then I'll just zip it up around. But we still need something else in here. And one of the things I'm going to be bringing with me is these surgical sponges. I'm only bringing 4 of them because I don't tend to really need these. Plus, you could just use toilet paper, but it seems official and I have them, so might as well take them with me. And then the last thing that I definitely need to bring are the syringes. These are just the syringe part, does not have a needle on it. Just kind of I'll put them right in here on that side there. So we've got our syringes on this side. We have our little pads on this side. And then I have this other pocket here with the needles and the alcohol swabs. That's gonna go right inside there. Really, really nice padding for all of the needles and the syringes to make sure that everything stays all the same direction so that it doesn't cross over each other and potentially break anything that way. And then this progesterone, as I said, is gonna go in my bag with my liquids. Make sure that you are bringing your medications and your supplies in your carry-on, not the bag that you're going to check, because your carry-on will be with you the entire time. And if your bag gets lost, you're not going to be without your medications. So the progesterone and oil will go into this clear bag with the rest of my liquids, and will also go with me in the carry-on so that I can pull it out easily should I need to. This cycle for me has been a little tricky as far as catching ovulation. So I am not quite sure yet that I've ovulated. I actually thought a couple days ago that I had ovulated because my basal body temperature rose, but then for the next 2 days it stayed under the cover line, which did not confirm ovulation. You have to have a temperature rise of a total of 3 days to confirm ovulation, not just 1. So we're kind of back to square one as of today. So 2 days ago, I was confident that I was going to be doing my progesterone and oil shot while traveling. Today, I am confident that I will ovulate either today or probably tomorrow, and will need to take not only my progesterone and oil shots, but also my basal body temperature monitor, which I probably would have done anyway. As well as the progesterone and oil shots, because I will be starting the progesterone and oil shots while we are traveling. For my cycle, for this natural cycle, I will not be starting progesterone and oil until 3 days after a confirmed ovulation. So luckily, it only takes 3 days of the basal body temperature to be risen to confirm ovulation, because that is then the day that I would start taking progesterone and oil. I am taking a very small dose of progesterone and oil so that I can still feel my body's natural fluctuations. It's just kind of a baseline support for my body to extend my luteal phase, because that continues to be a little bit shorter even though my ovulations are later.
Good morning from somewhere over Colorado. This is the American Airlines flight from Chicago to LA on their 787 with their new flagship suites seats. They have the doors and obviously business class service. So I had a nice breakfast this morning. Just really enjoying the new layout of these seats, how spacious it is, and the privacy with the new doors. I probably would not have done my hair for this flight since it was so early, if I had not brought the Dyson. So very glad that I traveled with the Dyson, because otherwise my hair would not be looking quite as stylish this morning as it is. I brought just two of the attachments with me, the hair dryer attachment because it dries my hair really fast, and then the round brush, which is just a really easy way to do my hair in the mornings. For me, I'm very well practiced at it. So, but yeah, definitely something I would not have tried with a hotel hair dryer, because those are usually underpowered and it just wouldn't be worth the effort and time. So very happy I brought the Dyson with me, and it does travel very easily. Ovulation has happened. Today is DPO 2. I haven't had any trouble at all traveling with the progesterone and oil needles or the little vial of oil itself. Like, no trouble at all. TSA has not asked me to take any liquids out of my bag, and they have not flagged my carry-on luggage that has the needles for extra inspection. It's been no change at all from how I normally travel when I'm checking bags. I actually did transfer the needles into my carry-on luggage as opposed to my carry-on backpack, because the backpack has less space. but everything's been fine. That's been good now through 2 airports, so through TSA in Miami and TSA in Chicago. And I kind of feel like TSA has gotten less picky about stuff over the past couple years. Comment down below if you've also noticed that traveling. They're also not making you take your shoes off anymore. This is, of course, if you don't have pre-check. They don't make you take your shoes off anymore either. So I think they're just kind of generally relaxing a little bit on all that kind of stuff. So I did not declare the medication when I went through the line. And the reason for that mostly is just for the convenience of myself and for everyone else. It's not a big deal to them. It's not a big deal to them, and it didn't seem like it was. So anyway, traveling with the progesterone and oil shot with the prescription box that it was in, probably unnecessary. As long as the vial is definitely under the amount of ounces you're allowed to carry on a plane. So as long as it's just with your other liquids, I think it's fine. And then they, like I said, did not care about the needles at all. It's not like I have an excessive amount. I just have just the right amount. And so, yeah, it's been really easy, and I haven't had to use them. I have not had to use them because today is DPO 2, and I'm not going to be starting the progesterone oil shot until DPO 3, which will be tomorrow. So I'm still very glad that I brought them. Because I will need to use them while I'm still traveling. But so far I haven't had to do any injections while traveling in a hotel room or otherwise. Because one of the things that you need to take into consideration when you're traveling with this progesterone and oil shot is the time zone difference. Because the progesterone and oil shot is supposed to be administered at the same time every day. Basically, it needs to be administered every 24 hours, and it's pretty time sensitive. You can be maybe within an hour on either side of it, but really want to stay in that 24-hour time period. So when you're traveling through different time zones, it's really important to be aware of when you're taking your shot so that you can be consistent with that for your body, for the 24-hour cycle of your body, as opposed to whatever time it is. In another time zone. So luckily I have not had to deal with any of that, but since I am starting my progesterone and oil shot tomorrow, which I will be in Pacific time zone, I'll need to translate that into East Coast time when I travel back on Sunday. But if you're traveling to a different time zone and you've already started the progesterone and oil shot, you'd want to make sure that you're translating that into whatever time zone that you are traveling into. So going from East Coast to Chicago, like we did for part of our trip, I would have just moved the shot up by an hour because Chicago is Central Time and Miami is East Coast time. And then I would have had to move it up another 2 hours when we went to LA, and then back to my 8 o'clock time, which is the time that I usually do it. We get back on Sunday. Yeah, we had a really, really good couple of days in Chicago, and as I said, now we're flying to LA. Only in LA for a couple days, and then we are back in Miami by Sunday for a boat day. So very much a jet-setting weekend for us.
And the progesterone and oil shot is done on vacation. I am in LA. I am in the American Airlines lounge shower room, and I am so happy to be clean. Stephen and I had a very packed day today, and because we are traveling now from LA back to Miami, we opted to take the red-eye flight back to Miami so that we don't lose so much time going from the West Coast back to the East Coast. So essentially, we checked out of our hotel room this morning and went to the beach with our friends and played in the ocean all day, had lunch, just had a nice full day on the West Coast. But that also meant that we were very salty by the time our 9 o'clock flight was going to be coming around. So having this is just such a saving grace. American Airlines gives you 30 minutes to use this whole space to yourself, and it's a game changer. I am changing back into my handy my flight outfit. They are cleaner than I was a few hours ago, so very happy about this. Being in this nice private space also gives me the opportunity to do my progesterone and oil shot. And you can bring the progesterone oil shot with you in any bathroom. And if, for example, I needed to do my progesterone oil shot while I was out and about today, I would have just loaded the progesterone and oil up into the syringe and then brought the needle with me and done it that way. So flights can be very drying on your skin, so I'm going to put some extra moisturizer and a little bit of this jojoba oil and sweet almond oil on my face as well. And I have all of my needles, and none of them are broken. They all traveled with me fine, and they didn't get in the way at all. So now all I need to do is just load this up, the progesterone, and do the shot. Yeah, we had a really fun time in both Chicago and LA. I told you on the plane that I ovulated while we were on vacation, so it was a great thing I took my temperature with me. Actually brought it in with had my temperature reader with me the whole time, so that's good. I was not only able to see that I had ovulated because of the boost in temperature, but also was able to confirm that on day 3. As far as the timing goes, today I took my shot at 5 p.m. Pacific Coast time. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. when I want to take the shot on the East Coast time, I will be perfectly in line. But also luckily, it's only one day, so even if I needed to adjust it a little bit tomorrow, I can do that. But yeah, overall, traveling with the progesterone oil shot is not a big deal. TSA doesn't seem to really care at all. This is the 3rd airport now, LAX, that I went through security with needles, with the oil, and nobody asked me anything about it. So as long as it is packed securely and you know where it is and you know where to get it, how to get it, it is really not a big deal at all. The only kind of things that you have to, take into account is where you're going to be when you do the shot, because that's the uncertainty thing, or that's the part that's the most uncertain in this whole process and traveling with it, is that you might not know your schedule of when you need to take the shot. If you can't arrange your schedule in order to be in a nice private place like an airport shower room during your travel, you can always preload the syringe with the exact amount of progesterone and oil that you'll need, and then take the needles with you. Wherever you're going, there should always be a bathroom. And if you have a bathroom, you can do the shot. That's the progesterone oil shot while traveling. Navigating these fertility issues while also having a life, living life, and enjoying life is possible. It's easy to do, and just part of being a woman. Continuing to navigate challenges like this means that maybe the next challenge that I have will be traveling while pregnant and then traveling with baby. And yes, I am not using this hairdryer. I'm going to use the Dyson, probably very close to my 30-minute time limit. I think that's fine for airport hair. Now I've got to get out of here before I overstay my welcome.